Hey, this is Frank from Deftones, and you're listening to Radiónica.
Where are you?
I am in Burbank, California. We are
Okay.
uh, we are finishing up rehearsals soon.
And those rehearsals are because you're gonna be starting any tour
Right,
soon?
yeah. We're starting the second leg of the tour we've been doing. This one goes up into Canada and some select dates in the States. But yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And
Sure.
it's that you are doing a tour that you're gonna be doing in LATAM next year. Are you coming to Colombia?
That's the plan at some point. I don't have logistics, but I think we're trying to basically go everywhere we can. Yeah.
You've been down here twice, I think.
Yeah.
Last time was like 7 years ago. How's your experience with the Colombian public?
Oh, was it that long ago? We love
Yes,
it.
sir.
We love it. Yeah, we really, really love being able to get there. And we've always had a really good time, so we can't wait to get back.
Awesome. We are waiting for you, for us, the people who love your music. It's like a great opportunity to see you all guys together.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about private music. We are like 6 days from the album release. We already know two singles. Which is the atmosphere behind private music?
I mean, the title alone, I mean, the creation of this record and the songs were very private for us. I think it makes sense in that sense. But it also has, a meaning. It could be a little sexual meaning, but it could also, I mean, especially in this day and age when everything is so public and everyone has access to everything. It feels kind of special to have something private. I mean, obviously, once we release it, it's not private for us anymore. But I think when Chino brought that idea for private music, it just worked and we all liked it.
Yeah, I'm very curious about like the atmosphere because I don't know, it's been a while, was like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and where did you find like Deftones are ready to come back with new music?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because it's 5 years, but we wrote the record in like 4 sessions, I guess, and they were a week each.
Hmm.
So honestly, the record was written probably in a month.
Whoa.
So, but we would get together for a week and write, and then we'd go home for a month or two, and then get together again for another week. And the first one was in the desert in Joshua Tree, and then we did 2 sessions in Malibu, and the majority of the record was written in those sessions. And then over the span of time, we've just been kind of putting it together and finishing it up. Along with that comes recording and then the vocals and overdubs and stuff. But it happened fairly fast. You know what I mean? It may seem like a long time, but when it happened, it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Entering in that privacy, in those privacy sessions that you have in the creation process of this new album.
Yeah.
Um, are you gonna be telling us like private stories about you guys, or how was the creative process of writing these
Well,
lyrics?
as far as lyrics and stories, that's a question for Chino, you know what I mean? But he usually writes his lyrics at the end. I mean, he always does, but he writes his lyrics after the music's done for the most part. And you know how he does it. He paints these beautiful pictures with words, so a lot of it's probably open to interpretation. But he's just fucking killing it on this record. It's amazing. So honestly, it's about feeling. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it's always about feeling. We're never really being specific or saying what this is and what it's supposed to be. It's more about how you accept it and what do you feel?
Yeah, yeah, totally. I call that guts. If you feel it like
Oh,
down here, it is
yeah,
going great in the right direction.
for sure. A
Hey,
lot of
Frank.
a lot of that
Oh,
comes from, having a right mood and swing and groove and it sets the tone for the song, you know what I mean? It's less about being specific about it, you know what I mean?
Frank. going like in the sound direction, you've been for the last 25 years like the architect of the Deftones sound, you know. You are like such an important part of the team in the sound direction of the band. What can we expect in terms of sound for this new album?
Yeah, I mean, it's got, everything that we've always done up until our last record, that feelings, there's always there's always dynamics within the record. We're definitely creating a listening experience each time for the whole record to be listened to as a whole. Um, and within that record, there's ups and downs and highs and lows. Uh, and I think we're just trying to get better at what we do as musicians, as men, and hopefully the growth is there and you can feel it. We feel it is, you know what I mean? So it's hard to say what it is because it's literally all over the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Which
awesome.
is cool because we walked through that door during White Pony and it just showed us, when you trust ourselves, we can do anything. We're not stuck within this box that we have to sound a certain way, we have to do a certain thing. Like I think we broke those barriers down a long time ago.
Yeah, in fact, that was my next question because I feel that talking about White Pony, you know, it's like one of your best records. All people love that record, and I don't know if you feel like kind of kidnapped in that sound of that White Pony, and it's been like difficult building new sounds to get engaged with people
Right.
after that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've never looked backwards, you know what I mean? So it's always a forward motion. And I think it's comes through living life, you know what I mean? When we're living our lives between these records and these tours, we all have our ups and downs and we have family stuff and things, growth to be had. So, but there's one thing for sure is we're never trying to do what we've done. You know what I mean? We're always looking forward. You know what I mean? And I think this record is a really good example of that.
Cool. I'm so excited to listen to all those tracks that you are like proposing in this new record, just to know where Deftones are like standing nowadays in terms of sound. Let's talk a little bit about music industry. Um, Nowadays, people are like, we need to you talk about a wall idea, you know, and that's something that I really respect because nowadays you find a lot of artists that are like releasing one single, and I don't know, a couple of months later they release another single, and then they call that
Right.
they have an LP. You are working on a whole idea. What do you think about releasing singles and making a whole EP nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do these days because the rollouts are, so different. And with social media, you're supposed to constantly be telling everyone or pushing or teasing. And I think we purposely this time, we let the music speak for itself. We didn't put a video out first. We didn't do interviews first. We didn't start hyping the record with podcasts and blogs and or whatever. We put the song out, and the day
Yeah,
we put the song out, we put one interview out.
yeah.
And that way the song could speak for itself. And then I think a week later or so we put the video out.
Mhm.
And we just released another song and we didn't do a video. We're gonna let the music speak for itself. You know what I mean? And it's really easy to get caught up of doing the machine of, you know, I mean, this is part of the machine, obviously the press, but I mean, as far as hyping it up, I think we just want the songs to speak for themselves. You know what I mean? And we're doing these listening parties that are happening soon in different states and different countries so people can experience the record as a whole. And I think that's a cool thing that we're doing to combat people dissecting a record just by picking one song from Spotify or whatever, you know what I mean? And then ingest it how we would like you to hear it, you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
another thing we're doing that's pretty cool.
Do you have a favorite track inside the album?
Oh, that's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Mm.
I know.
They're all new and exciting, so the whole record is just my favorite right now.
We ended.
How do you
It's
feel the energy between you guys in Deftones?
Oh, I mean, it's great. We've we've lived a lot, we've overcome a lot, and We've learned over the years how to communicate and how to separate and how to work, and create that balance. It's not easy and it takes a lot of work. It's just like a marriage or some sort. You got to put in work, you know what I mean? So, yeah, if there's one thing we've gotten better at learning how to do that.
Yeah, my purpose why I'm asking this is because I feel you have written music history for sure. And recently we lost Ozzy,
Yep.
and when 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 you are talking with a band that have time to continue presenting new music, it's like I'm crossing fingers for you guys never fight. So the fans that are
There's
like
a lot of
surrounding
there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of
I know, but I also know that between fighting, there also are great
for sure.
um reconnections between the. What I'm trying to say is, I hope and I'm crossing my fingers that we have a lot of Deftones yet.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, me too. It would be great to continue having this platform that we've created for ourselves. And I mean, it's pretty amazing to be able to create with your friends for, with the majority of your life, you know what I mean? And having that outlet is really, I think that's one thing probably the pandemic has shown us, you know what I mean? We're really grateful for the opportunity to create together and to live together, live life and experience this together.
Awesome, Frank. Awesome. Just before we end this call, I have some like two or three more questions, okay?
Yep.
I know that when you came to Deftones,
Yeah.
you were like an invited DJ.
Yeah.
How was that? I want to know a little bit deeper that story, man.
When I moved to Sacramento, I didn't really know anyone. I had followed a girl to Sacramento. I ended up getting a DJ gig in town at a Monday night hip hop club. That was the only club in town where the bands would play. And I kind of met a couple of the Deftone guys. I had just moved there. Anyways, they invited me to the rehearsal space and to bring my records and hang out when they're rehearsing and just play music and create a vibe, basically. And I did that. And that morphed into not only just creating a space and vibe, it led to ideas and being creative. And then it led to them inviting me to record on Adrenaline, what we were doing in those rehearsal spaces, and the same for Around the Fur. And it's just kind of morphed into uh, instead of a hanging around, it was just being creative together. You know what I mean? I think it was a great time in our youth when, it's all we were doing is just trying to be creative. And in no way did I think I would be in this band or doing this for a living. You know what I mean? It's just I was looking for people to be creative with, and that's what happens when you find the right ones.
That's cool. That's cool. And where were you like the day that Deftones took the decision to make you a new member for the band? It was like
Yeah.
a phone call,
Well,
or how was it?
no, by that time, I would do the shows locally in Sacramento with them
Mhm.
when they first did Adrenaline, and then I would do like the West Coast tour with them when they'd come down California. And then they asked me to come up to Seattle and do the same thing I did with Adrenaline, was create some new stuff with the records. And then after we finished Around the Fur, that's when they said, you know what? Because I had a job at a record distributor in Sacramento, basically, for like a couple years. Uh, I think Stefan was just like, yeah, quit your job. Just let's go on tour. I was like, all right,
Eesh.
you know?
Yeah,
And then,
risky, right?
yeah,
Awesome, but risky decisions make great paths.
yeah,
And
yeah,
here you are, 25 years later, being essential part of Deftones. I know that you are a record lover and you sometimes exchange records with Chino, right? Is
sure.
there something that you are listening nowadays that you can recommend to the audience?
Oof, that's a hard one. I, I I do buy a lot of music. Let me see what I've got, my most recent. Um, yeah, I think we all kind of share music uh without even knowing it. I mean, especially on down times when we're on tour, backstage, we're all playing music, you know what I mean? We're all playing different things. Let's see. Oh, I just got into this crazy like black death metal band, but they're like with drum machines and synthesizers, and they're called Aransi Panzuzu. Think
Rancy Pansusu.
Aransi Panzuzu. Yeah, look that
Okay.
up and see what you think about that.
I promise I'm gonna sit down and listen to it carefully.
Yeah,
We have a space in the radio station down here that we play that kind of music. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to it.
great.
Awesome. Frank, for me, it's been great to having this call with you. I don't want to chat like a fan. I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of yours. I
Cool.
hope I could do my job as best as I could. I didn't want to sound as a fan, just as
No, no,
just
no,
as a
it's good.
journalist.
Really good.